bringing up involved a lot of me paying attention to a lot of different things. That's how I had been brought up. So I would have my nani tell me, okay, pay attention to detail, be sensitive towards people, be compassionate towards people. And this was sort of slightly instilled into me, right? And I think that is a very small town trait. When I shifted to Delhi, I still remember I was 14 years old, and things suddenly changed. There's so much detachment in a big town. There's so much focus and significance on things like output, things like profit, things like money, things very tangible, versus that emotional bonding of a small town, that attention to detail of a small town, that emotional connect, the vulnerability, the focus on happiness, the focus on more intangible things in small town. So why I'm talking about today about these things is because I feel that NakhreWaali has always been instilled into me. The whole concept has been brought up by that feel of a difference between how a small town works and how a big town works. I've had the opportunity to travel a lot, and I love traveling myself. And when I say travel, I don't mean going to fancy locations and staying in fancy hotels, but I mean to say going into the depth of our own country to begin with. India is super culture rich. India has so much to see in terms of the talent, in terms of the art, in terms of the heritage, in terms of the history that we have. And I think handicraft, handloom, handmade, this is our USP. This is our country's USP, and slowly and steadily through the years, especially people of our generation, we are not so proud of it, right? And I've had the opportunity and a keen interest in looking at various crafts, looking at various handicrafts that are available in the market. If you go to, say, a Punjab, there's Fulkari, which is extensively available and beautifully crafted. If you go to, say, a Gujarat, you will see a lot of bandhani happening, a lot of mirror work happening. If you go to, say, Kutch, you'll see a lot of different patola happening, ikkat. So there is different crafts, and there's a lot of history behind each craft that exists. It's unique in its own way. It's the color palette is different and unique in its own way. And if you actually go and sit with those artisans and karigars who are doing these things, or who are skilled at these particular crafts, you'll get to know that there's so much history behind each craft that we have. And slowly and steadily it's getting sort of we're almost getting over with it now, right? Even if we have these things in our country, and there's this plethora of talent, this plethora of culture, this plethora of handicraft, but are we proud of it? No. Do we want to pay for it? No. Do we want to ape the Western culture? Yes. Do we want to wear what people outside India are wearing? Yes. Are we proud of our own culture? Because we have so much to offer, we have so much uniqueness. We're not. So I feel there's so much in our country to see. There's so many different handicrafts, and this comes. I'm actually not a designer by profession. I don't have a design degree, but I have had this keen interest in that the whole thing comes from that attention to detail, which I had been instilled in, I had instilled in me since childhood. So I have traveled to a lot of villages. I've traveled to a lot of domestically, a lot of small towns in our country, and I've found such beautiful things to look at, so refreshing. And NakhreWaali is my way of contemporizing those crafts and making them in a way that today's generation can also flaunt them, wear them, and be proud of them. I feel that handicraft and handmade is very, very, very important, because that's the USP of our country, that represents so many different things in terms of our religion, in terms of our culture, in terms of so many different colors, right? And how is it important to my brand is because that's what I'm trying to communicate. The product is a means to communicate that, but what I'm trying to communicate is that pick up those crafts that have been existing in the society for years and years, and making something contemporary out of it that people like you and me can wear them, flaunt them, and be proud of them.